Here at Material Innovations, we are excited to offer a new way to utilize labor-saving large square bales. Our new line of skid steer mounted large square bale straw mulchers offers the smaller landscaper a lucrative new way to compete with larger landscaping companies. To assist in your switch to large square bales, we have a few tips to help you get started with this new method of straw mulching. The first step in preparing to mulch the newly seeded area is to stage the large bales. The bales should be near the area to be mulched, but not in the way. The bales should be placed with strings up and side by side with about a foot of space between them. At this time, special consideration must be given to overhead utility lines. The staging area and the area to be mulched should be searched ahead of time for overhead lines. If lines are present, be sure to have someone present at all times to spot for the skid steer operator. The first step in loading a large square bale onto the BBM is to open the bale clamps. While the skid steer's motor is idling, run the skid steer's hydraulic system in the forward direction. Trying to open the clamps while the skid steer's engine is at a higher RPM will cause the bale clamps to drift closed once the hydraulic system has been turned off. Once the clamps are open, place the BBM's bale chute over the bale. This takes a bit of practice. The view of the bale is blocked when the BBM is in the horizontal position. For the first few bales, it is wise to have a spotter guide the operator. With the BBM's bale chute placed over the bale, back up the skid steer until there is about 6 inches of space between the end of the bale and the upper edge of the BBM's grinding tub. This half foot of space is necessary to prevent the bale from hanging up on the tub edge after the bale is rotated to the vertical position and released. Once the BBM is in position over the bale clamps can be closed to grasp the bale by reversing the skid steer's hydraulic system. At this point, the bale can be rotated into the vertical position and lifted just slightly above the operator's line of sight. As usual with any piece of heavy equipment, the load should be carried as low as possible, but the BBM must be lifted out of the way so that the operator can see. The next step is to remove the bale strings. Move the front of the BBM near to a fairly solid object that you can cut and tie the bale strings to. Lower the BBM as near to the ground as possible and cut the bale strings as high as you can reach. Tie the strings to the solid object and then back the skid steer away to pull the strings off of the bale. Rotate the BBM all the way back past the vertical position and lift it above the operator's line of sight. Do not open the BBM's bale clamps till the skid steer travels to the area to be mulched. Once the BBM is in position at the newly seeded area, lift the BBM until its bottom is approximately even with the top of the skid steer's cab. To release the bale, engage the skid steer's hydraulic system in the forward position. The bale will then fall onto the BBM's shredding rollers. For maximum efficiency, move the skid steer's throttle to full open, then engage the shredding rollers from the BBM's control panel. There are a number of steps that the operator can take to help keep mulching material flowing from the BBM. If the BBM is tilted to a slightly more vertical position, more of the bale weight is placed on the shredding rollers and more material is forced into the beaters. The beaters may also be reversed for about 2 or 3 seconds and then returned to the forward direction to keep the material flowing. Shredding roller jams are a normal occurrence when the BBM gets to the end of a bale. When the shredding roller jam light, located on the BBM's control panel, is on, the operator should simply reverse the feeder rollers to unjam them and then return them to the forward direction to continue mulching. Material Innovations spent 2.5 years testing and developing the new skid steer mounted mulchers. Numerous types of mulching materials from the northeastern area of the country were tested. The variations in texture and strand length of hay and straw from all across the country will present opportunities to develop different techniques and procedures for using this new type of mulching tool. This video will get you started. I'm sure that with time you will develop methods suited to your area of the country.